Hi everyone, welcome to another Sonatype Dev Chat with myself, Dan Conn. Today we're going to talk about a subject which has got a lot of heat at the moment, but also is quite new to a lot of people, and that's about SBOMs. So SBOMs are the software bill of materials. They're essentially a format to see how dependencies fit into your project. So the idea is that an SBOM could be generated, and this will show you dependencies, and so in some cases they can help in security areas to highlight vulnerabilities as well. Now, there's two common types of SBOM. In fact, there's many more, but the two that we'll focus on are CycloneDX and SPDX. SPDX stands for Software Package Data Exchange. They're very different in nature. CycloneDX, for example, was created by OWASP, the Open Worldwide Application Security Project. It has a much more cybersecurity focus, and it allows for the inclusion of vulnerabilities with it, which can then link to something called Vulnerability Exploitability Exchange, or VEX components. SPDX was developed by the Linux Foundation, and it focuses more on license compliance. Licenses can actually be a very hot topic around open source. You may include something within your own project that you might not understand the full implications of the license that you've used, and it may have implications for your own project. So it is also very important. SBOMs essentially are a standardization of how dependencies are listed, and especially with the name software bill of materials, it might be likened to Apache Maven bill of materials. Again, Sonatype is the custodian of that and has been for years. They are quite different. A bill of materials within Maven is purely a way of naming which dependencies you might want in your package, whereas the software bill of materials is much more wider. It's meant to be a security tool to ensure that, as in a kind of provenance of the supply chain within open source. So how far can you go with this? And I think chatting to some of the people that we have at Sonatype that have been contributors to both projects, there are different things that you can do with them. So I think one in particular is an understanding that maybe it's just for packages, but that's not quite right. You could actually think of chaining this in the future to actual infrastructures, or especially as infrastructure as code comes more and more prevalent, you might find that actually these also have their own SBOM material dependency. SBOM material, which obviously needs to be documented as well. There is a lot about SBOMs at the moment. One article that I found pretty good was, we have one on the Sonatype website within our Launchpad area, which I believe there'll be a link that follows with that. And another one which is quite difficult is SBOM conversion. So a lot of tools you might have an SPDX SBOM, and you might need to convert that into a CycloneDX SBOM to be able to use it in different areas for different tools that can read and generate them. So there is an SBOM conversion tool article coming out on Sonatype's Dev Zone. That was written by Aaron Linskens, Teresa Marinella, and Eddie Knight, which goes through the different tooling. There is an SPDX tooling, and there's also CycloneDX tooling. And a lot of these things, it's find the repository that it's stored in, pull it down for yourself, give it some executable commands, and then run the two JSON files to do the conversion. Teresa and Eddie in particular, in writing that article, contributed a Docker container for use along with the Docker file part of the SPDX tool conversion, and that was based on lessons learned in that article, and I'm sure a link will follow with that as well. So now we know roughly what SBOMs are. There are various tools that can help with both the generation and the reading of them, so that we can actually help to audit our own things. One in particular that Sonatype has is called BOM Doctor, which is a free tool. You can find it at Sonatype. bomdoctor.sonatype.com. And what that will do is it will upload. You can upload an SBOM, or you can point it to a particular repository, and it will get the SBOM for you, and give you a really nice visualization of what is included within your package and what's included in the packages of packages, to really show the breadth and graph of what an SBOM is. And in particular, you can zone into these and see particular scoring of the different elements. So I really like it. Other people I've spoken to indeed like it as a visualization tool, so it's really worth having a go at. Two particular Sonatype products which are paid, which also help with this. You have Nexus Auditor, which will read SBOMs and allow you to make decisions based on what those findings are, and you can generate SBOMs within Nexus Lifecycle, which might be worth a look as well. So hopefully you found some good information today, and yeah, we'll see you at some point again. Thanks.